I was thinking of realizing something this week, and I've been talking a lot, so my voice about to go away. But I realized there's another world, another reality, another way to live, and it's the right way, and it's an amazing way, and you can't go wrong with it. And living that way, there's a kingdom within us, another world. We're supposed to be living from that kingdom, and if we did, we would have no sorrow, no sorrows, no worries, no doubts, no fear. We would never have to think about anything. It would just happen naturally. But most human beings don't know about that world. Only thing, and I didn't for a long time, only thing I knew about was what I could hear, see, and touch. And I thought that was the only way to live based on that. And that way did nothing but brought hell for me, as it brings hell to everyone, because you think that that's the way, and you don't realize that there's another way. Even though Christ said the kingdom has come, you don't have to live that old way anymore. It's all done. You can be free. But, most people don't even seek that kingdom. And a lot of Christians don't seek it. They'll talk about it, they'll mention it, but they don't look for it at all. And they are miserable as a result. As a result of only knowing what you can see, taste, and touch, your life is hell, pure hell. Look at the earth around you, people around you. The world is just nothing but misery. Nothing but misery. And the thing about that misery is coming out of you, and you are projecting it onto the world. You're doing it. It's coming from you, and you project it onto the world. You project it onto your children if you have children. You yell at them, you scream at them, you're not patient with them. When they get anxious, become anxious, you blame them instead of you projecting your world onto them, and they couldn't help it because they're subject to you. You are your own world, and not one other person can change your world but the light, but the truth, but seeking it and wanting it. No other human being can change it. No Jesse Peterson, no Donald Trump, no what's the X guy? Musk. They could do all the material things to try to make things a little comfortable, but you're still going to be miserable if you look for it through any other human being. No one can tell you how to live or anything. They can make suggestions, but you're still going to be miserable because you're still living from the physical world and not the spiritual world from within. It's so sad. And people are really, really, really suffering. Your suffering can end today, right now, if you were to come out of your mind. Stop being so worldly. Really. You could walk out of this room a free man or a free woman without any worries, any pain, any thoughts, any doubts, any loneliness. You would never look to anyone else to love you because you will have love. But most people love their hell. I was thinking about and reflecting, I've been hearing about people dying, and and I realized some of these stories I happen to know about these people, and their mother died, and they have been taking care of their mothers all their lives. And so mothers make sure that she controls you when you're a kid. She makes you very angry, very resentful of her, and now you think you love her because you feel emotion for her, and you think that those emotions are love, and you say, "Oh, I love my mother," and you're not aware that you're being trained to be controlled by her for the rest of your life. You think that is love, and then what happens is you grow up and you become an adult, and you're so dumb. Sorry, but true. You're so dumb, you move right down the road from mama. Have you heard of people move right down the street, right around the block from mama? You know you gotta be stupid. You live right down the road from your enemy. Isn't that amazing? And then the enemy, after a while, start complaining that she's not close enough to you. Now she want to move in. And you like regret it, having mama move in, because you know mama's going to be a headache. She's been a headache all your life, but because you hate her, you are afraid to say no to mama. You can't move in my house because that's my mama. And you've been trained to believe this, that that's my mama and mama gonna move in. No matter where you move, you can move to West Hill. And mama hated West Hill while you were growing up. I never would live in West Hill, right? But then you move away to West Hill to try to get rid of her, and now all of a sudden, I think I want to come to West Hill. I've been always wanting. And you say, all right, mama, come on to West Hill. And you bring her to your home, and she destroys you, and your family and everything else. And you're afraid to put her out. And so I know a situation right now, and I've known this situation all my life. And the mother made sure, because she appeared to be so nice, but she's evil. But if you saw her, you would think she's nice. And she made sure all of her kids stay right around her. And if they moved away, they end up moving back to the same state that the mama is in. And then she made sure that their marriages didn't work, unless the daughter-in-law or the son-in-law would kiss up at her. If they catered to her, she was okay with that. And then it ended up where the oldest child ended up moving in with the mama and took care of the mama all of her life. And the mama finally died after so many years, a lot of years. And the mama died. And I was thinking, I bet you they're going to cry at the mama funeral. They grew up with a mama that they hated. They took care of a mother that they hated. And then now the mama and dad, they're going to cry at the mama's funeral. Anybody ever done that? You cry at the funeral from the person that you hate. Think about that. Otherwise, you should be doing what they do in the Wizard of Oz, The Wicked Witch is Dead. That should be your favorite song at the funeral. The Wicked Witch is dead. I remember when my father expired, they had these preachers up preaching over him, and they knew nothing about my father. They were saying all these sweet and nice things about him. And so when they asked me to get up and say, I'm like, look, my father was nothing like that. He was cheap. I used to ask my father for money, and he would take all this money out of his pocket and give me a $10 or $5. Look, that ain't no money. But he was cheap. But I'm glad for that because I'm cheap now. I appreciate that. But the point is, you don't have to, but you need to wake up so you can live from this other world that is within you and not be controlled by the world around you, because human beings are evil. And human beings will play any kind of game on you they can to take advantage of you. They pretend they care, and they care nothing about you. They don't. But if you are still living from this illusionary world, you're going to think that they love you. You're really going to think that they care, because they're making you feel that way because you're living from your outer world instead of this new world within. You got to live from that. I remember once somebody had died, and I called up the family, and they were there. So one of the sons was married. And so I said, okay, may her soul rest in peace. And I asked the wife, are you obeying your husband? With the family crying and carrying on over to mama. And they're like, what the? And they're like, you asking me this, my mama dead? Yeah, mama dead. You still gotta live. And the wife said, no, I don't obey him. What the? Another thing that I realized, and I write down stuff I want to tell you that I realized. So I want you to know, unless you worked on yourself and you see what's going on, you crying over the person that you hate. You're not crying out of love, you're crying out of guilt. And you're still using that as a thrill to make yourself feel better. Because when you're crying over dead mama, you feel better because you think you care. I'm crying over mama, right? You don't have to. You can live in your hell, but you can live from within. There is another world. It is real, and it's all life, and it will work for you if you look for it and live in it, really. And nobody can touch you when you live from that world. You are your own world. You are your own responsibility. No one else is, as an adult. You are. You can live out of your hell or you can live free. God, if you notice, God let you live in your hell, right? He let you suffer. He let you cry. He allows you to beg. He's allowed you to look for people to be friends with, or he allowed your children to suffer. He allowed it to happen. But when you welcome him, he would change it all. When you start to look for him and you want that.